Moved into a new building, we're trying to figure all that out.
Cows.
Farms.
Good morning.
Morning.
All right, questions? Coach, how's it been in the heat?
It's been hot. I mean, coming from South Carolina, I'm kind of used to it, but these last couple of days have gotten up there temperature-wise. So it's good, though. We're going to have to play in that sometime this year.
You guys had more of a break these last couple of days with school starting than they've had since before camp, right? So what did you see today as far as the energy and just focus and all that after the break?
We need to improve on the focus. We need to improve on the urgency. We came out today a little bit, a little flat, which we don't ever want to do, and challenged them. And I think that they understand the urgency they need to play with, and they understand the focus they need to play with, and continue to get better as this week goes through.
You guys got into the locker room for the first time. What was your takeaway from it, and what's the new part of the facility that you guys have been in?
It's really nice. I mean, it's top of the line, everything, state of the art that you could ever imagine, from saunas to float tanks to nap pods to cold tubs to hot tubs. I mean, it's the one of, if not the best facility in the country, and it's going to help us pay dividends for our players, recovery for our players, and recruiting down the road.
I know every day brings its own thoughts, but how have you felt about the O-line as a whole as they've worked through this August, and how have you been able to run the ball behind them?
I'm proud of them. I think they work hard. They're one of the hardest working groups and consistent groups on the offense. It's very personal to those guys, and I think that they keep making strides every single day. We've had times where we run the ball well. We've had times where we had a couple issues here and there, but that's going to happen with this defense, with people running around everywhere. But I think for the most part, I'm really pleased with them and how Coach Rawl has got those guys playing right now.
Do you feel like you've been able to get like a 6th, 7th guy there, or how do you feel about just like your depth?
Yeah, I feel good. I think we have 7 or 8 guys that we feel comfortable going into the game and being able to be productive.
What were your main takeaways from the scrimmage?
We went into it with the main focus of just operationally cleaning up the operation, playing with great tempo, and I don't mean like no huddle, like being able to mix that stuff in, but just getting in and out of the huddles, getting substitutions on and off the sideline. We worked really hard at that last week prior, and it showed. I think we did a really nice job, had no issues in the scrimmage, and I think it allowed us to play a little bit more free, and it got us started a little bit faster.
When you have to go tempo and you got to go fast, how do you feel about the way your players get into that quick tempo?
They do a really nice job. We implement a lot of stuff like that during the summers and the player run practices, and they have fun with it and create names for plays and signals. So they kind of own that part of the offense and do a really nice job, and they can play as fast as anybody if needed.
Can you tell that a lot of these guys who are on the offense were in a no-huddle offense, so they're not maybe worried about conditioning or knowing how to run plays that quickly together?
I think there is a comfort with some of those guys. I think just from high school to being here the last couple of years, being in the no huddle, I think that's doesn't come very hard for them to switch mindsets.
How would you characterize Sims' camp in its entirety? I mean, what that picture look like to you?
I think he improved every single day. I think that he had a goal. He wanted to take care of the football. He wanted to increase his completion percentage. The first 4 or 5 days, the completion percentage wasn't as good as we wanted. Getting used to, again, playing all these different looks and stuff we're getting. And I think he just chipped away at it, and by the end of camp, it's around where we want it to be. And I think that he did a really nice job of taking care of the football. That was a huge emphasis for him. And then him just not being scared to use his legs. Don't be scared to use your legs when needed.
What is the ideal? Like, what number do you have in your mind for games for completion rate? I'm sure I know 100%, but like, what's
right? I mean, you'd like to be over 65. I mean, you're playing pretty good quarterback. You're quarterbacking at a high level if you're around 65%.
How do you feel about being healthy for week 1? I know Marcus and Teddy are obviously fighting things to come back, but how does that look now getting into this week after the break?
Knock on wood, I mean, we're relatively very, real healthy. And I think it's a lot of how we practice and the reps that we're getting in practice. Coach says all the time, if you play full speed, you're not going to get hurt. So I think, other than just getting their legs back, which we will, from the camp legs, and getting everything back to 100% if possible, that'll happen this week, getting into game week next week. But we feel pretty good where we are right now from an injury standpoint. Hopefully that didn't jinx us.
Those guys are practicing?
They're out there, yeah.
Marcus, how much Minnesota have you guys put in, or how much did you start today in practice?
We're just kind of easing into it. This is more about a simulated game week. Just teaching our kids, like, you're going to practice Tuesday mornings, you're going to practice Wednesday nights, you're going to walk through on Thursday mornings. So it's more about the simulation of the game week, so they can feel what it feels like, as well as implementing small doses of our opponent on 8/31.
It's to the ex- go ahead.
What's Barrett Liebentritt brought to the offense and what you've seen from him?
Very consistent. You know, he's like a good official. If you don't know they're there, right, they're doing a really nice job, and that's who he is. He's just, if you say the personnel grouping, he's out there. He does his job. He lines up correctly. You know, he may not be dominating his job every single snap, but he's doing his job, and that's huge for offensive football to know that we can count and he can be dependable.
How's Bonner done? He came up a lot in the spring, and just I know he's a versatile piece for you.
Yeah, he moves around everywhere. You know, he can play receiver, running back, tight end, fullback. Like, he does a little bit of everything. Using him in different personnel groupings. You know, he catches the ball really well, got great ball skills, above average speed for a guy that plays in that interior box, you know, alignment. So he'll have a role in on this offense for sure.
Coach Rule said like a week or so ago, it's not like a freshman has to step out there at receiver like that first week necessarily. But how have you seen some of those guys come along as you get down to the
I think now they're, you know, we're not installing anything anymore, so they've learned, you know, they're learning and continuing to learn the playbook, so it allows them to go out there and play fast and play, you know, with peace of mind. You can see that their confidence is growing. I think they're getting used to the physical aspect of college football, so they just keep going. You know, we tell them every day, just get 1% better every day, and look up, you know, halfway during the season, we have a pretty good product.
Coach Rule mentioned Anthony Grant and having some ball security issues in scrimmage or recently. How do you feel about him and giving him the ball based on what you've seen all through camp?
I think he can be one of the top running backs in the conference. I think he's very talented. I think he's very physical. His athletic traits are off the charts. I think he's very willing. I think he loves football. He's super competitive, but you have to take care of the football. Like, if we're gonna trust you by giving you the ball, then you have to honor the responsibility of ball security and carrying it the proper way. And I think he's working on that. He's doing it. You know, he works at it every day. And you know, he's a great kid. Nobody wants to lose the ball, right? But you got to prove a point, make sure that when we're out there that we're taking care of it. Because number one part of the plan to win for us is don't beat ourselves, and that's the quickest way to do that. But we look forward to him doing some really, really good things this year. You know, I think he's got a chance to have a great year if we can take care of that football.
Mark, thinking back to the Heat, how are you guys keeping your players safe and healthy on a very challenging week like that?
I think, you know, just this last practice, coach did a really nice job of going indoors, outdoors, just being, you know, we're not going to be those guys that give them salt pills and don't give them water breaks, right? We're going to make sure that they're safe. So we did, you know, a couple periods inside, a couple periods outside, and make sure that, you know, constant water the whole practice.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.